When the X-Men name has been tarnished,
can a couple of old teenagers bring back
what Professor X had built? Welcome back to Hoodoo TV. I'm Hooser.
And I'm Jared.
And today we are talking about X-Men Blue #1. Jared, you like this book?
Yeah. This one's fun. It's colorful. It's action-packed. It's classic. You know, it's all the classic heroes, the X-Men, the original 5. Mm-hmm. It's great. So this is coming off of the war between the Inhumans and the X-Men. So it's a part of the resurrection that Marvel's doing that involves the Inhumans and the X-Men titles. Lots of #1s coming on, and this is one of them. It's kind of the opposite. Another team that is doing their own thing away from the Xavier School for the Gifted.
Right.
And that's Kitty Pryde's team, and that's featured in X-Men Gold. But today we're talking about X-Men Blue. So they kind of went off on their own, and they're just flying around, and we start off, they're in the plane, and they're going after this yacht that apparently has been, all the occupants of the yacht have been held hostage.
Right.
And so...
And it doesn't take any time to have the teenage bickering start.
No, it's page 1.
Right.
Yeah. And Bobby Drake, Iceman, he's kind of a loudmouth, so he kind of leads that in a way, you know?
Right. Yeah.
But you didn't particularly enjoy his mouth, did you?
Well, it was between his little griping, like typical teenager, which is the role that he's in, and then seeing how Scott Summers is just the same Scott Summers. Nothing's changed.
Yeah.
So they're writing the characters as to what they are.
It's true.
So,
it's very true. Yeah. Scott still has a stick up his butt, and it's great. So they're flying around, and they find themselves at this yacht, and they're trying to find out where all the people are, and they don't see anybody. So they pretty much just bust in the front door. And they're like, "We're the X-Men. We're here to save you." And it's a luxurious yacht, which is crazy. And Angel, he even says, like, one day I'm going to have a yacht like this, and and that's important because, you know, they're trying to help these rich people, which does come up a bit later. So they bust in the door, and they see Black Tom Cassidy hanging out, and he's got all these hostages. So they pretty much just start beating him up and trying to you know, save all the people and you know, get him out of the way. But he ends up with a surprise.
Right.
And Bobby Drake, he sees some footprints, these massive footprints in the paneling on the ground,
and lo and behold,
out
I'm
busts
the Juggernaut.
Yep. He just comes through. Yeah, it comes through the wall, and they're like, "Holy crap, this is insane!" And what's really interesting is they were pulled out of their own timeline. These characters before they met Juggernaut, so they don't really know who he is. But Juggernaut is pissed off because he sees Cyclops, he sees Scott,
right? And
you know, the Scott of his timeline ended up killing Xavier,
right?
So it's kind of this big thing where Xavier's his brother, so he's just like kind of in a blind rage upon seeing Cyclops, and it's really, really intense.
And they're getting the better half of the X-Men, right? And then so you're seeing these X-Men kids working together, or learning to work together again.
Yeah, so. Definitely. There's still a bit inexperienced, you know, because they're technically still students in a way.
Right.
Yeah, so they're trying to figure out how to stop Juggernaut, and you know, he's the unstoppable force, though. You know, once he starts moving, you can't stop him. And so they pretty much have to lure him outside. They subdue Black Tom Cassidy. He's taken care of, kind of, but it's still the Juggernaut that's the issue. And like, he's doing crazy things where he's like just stomping, and the paneling is like throwing them off the boat. It's it's pretty cartoony, and it's like, I don't know, I enjoy it. It's kind of like a Saturday morning cartoon to me.
Right.
But what I thought was great was like how they got rid of the Juggernaut.
Right.
Like, all of a sudden, Hank McCoy, the Beast, he has been studying the mystic arts, and so he kind of creates this portal, and they lure the Juggernaut into this portal, and you see like these arms reaching out in this portal, and he falls through it, and Scott looks at him and is like, "Did you just do what I think you did?" And he's like, "What?" And he's like, "You just sent him to hell?"
Right. Well, and a big thing that they were trying to consider was how they're being portrayed right now.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because of the last, Inhumans versus X-Men war that was going on, X-Men mutants are not... They don't have a good image right now.
No, they're not favored at all. Yeah, a lot of people hate that. And so it's a big issue, like, if someone sees that Hank threw him into hell, like, that's not good PR at all. But he did reveal that he only passed him through hell, and it was supposed to be he came out in Saudi Arabia.
Right.
So it was like, all right, no big deal. But still, like, that could be an issue.
Right. So they get the job done.
They do, yeah.
And then we get to the big meat of this book.
Yeah.
Within the next piece, when they go back home.
They do.
And who do they meet?
Yeah. They come up, and there's Magneto standing there, and he's pretty much in front of some screens, and he asks, like, "You got the job done?" And they're like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Did you do it? And, like, did you make yourself seen?" And they're like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Good job. That's exactly what I wanted."
Right.
So, like, yeah, they're working for him now, and, like, or just he's kind of their leader right now, leading him on things. So it's this, what is he up to? Like, what's his deal? Like, is he wanting the X-Men to have the title, their image fixed? Is it mutants in general? Does he have, something extra even on top of that?
Right.
And, with Magneto, it could be any one of those.
Right. I mean, he talks about threats of mutant kind, and just kind of going forth from there about Charles Xavier's dream.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And trying to, I don't know, push that on him. But like you say, it's Magneto. We're not sure what card he's playing under his sleeve.
Yeah. So. Yeah. I can't wait to see where that goes. But the book isn't over, though. Like, almost the last quarter of the book is this kind of meanwhile thing. It says meanwhile, and we're in the forest, this snowy forest, and there's a figure walking through it, and it cuts to the town nearby, and there's people gathering their guns, and they're like, shoot,
going on a manhunt.
Yeah, they're going on a manhunt. Exactly.
They have the dogs going, like they're sniffing out.
Exactly. And so they have all these guns, and they're looking for things, and then they find a deer carcass, and the deer carcass looks just completely torn up. And so they're like, there's I don't know what could do this, like it's like a massive bear or something. And then they start hearing like when, and all of a sudden Wendigo just pops out of nowhere, the big, abominable snowman in a way. And so they start shooting at him, and the figure shows up. The figure that was walking through the forest shows up, and you realize, like, they're going for this guy and not what you thought they were going off of. But the figure, he gets shot and he falls down, and then he ends up getting back up, and he takes his hood off, and he's got kind of the Wolverine look to him.
Oh, yeah.
But he's kind of blonde hair, and then you hear the trademark snit, of his claws coming out of his hands.
Yep.
And you're like, what the heck is going on? Because the young-bodied Logan was killed. Like, he was encased in adamantium, and like pretty much destroyed. Like, what can you do with that? So it just leaves you with a kind of a what is going on sort of thing, And so he fights off the Wendigo, and
did Old Man Beast bring a couple other people along?
Yeah, I that could be totally what it is, So I can't wait to see where this goes. I almost wonder if it's not connected somewhat to Weapon X in a way.
Right.
So we'll see what comes out of this, and that's pretty much the entire book there. Lots of things going on. Yeah.
It's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting all around. I haven't read X-Men in a while.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I mean, it seemed like the boat scene was rather fast.
Yeah.
It was rather quick. It seems like there was a lot going on for very little, it seemed.
Okay.
Yeah. But not that it was bad.
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. It it was relatively quick, especially when you have someone like the Juggernaut that comes in, and they were able to dispatch him pretty quickly and everything like that. But I feel like the story is definitely more with what Magneto said at the end. You know, they just needed to get on and get off and look good doing it. You know. So hopefully in the second issue that comes out this week, we'll see what's going on and like get some more meat in that. Definitely.
Yep. So one thing that we do here at Hoodoo TV is we're only going to be really talking about books that we like. So it might seem like, hey, you guys like all your books. That's why, because we're only doing books we like, because we don't want to trash anybody.
Yeah, for sure.
So on this book, what do you give the story?
The story, in itself, I would probably give it a 4 out of 5. Okay. Yeah. Just because it was, for me, it was fun. You know, like I said before, classic X-Men, very much a lot of action and like kind of crazy things going on. Saturday morning cartoon kind of feel. It was just a fun throwback with a lot of new elements that I enjoyed. Yeah.
What about art?
Art was great. Art was really good. I thought it looked super good, super clean. I'd probably give that one a 4.5. The art. Okay. I mean, just the character design was really great to me too. You know, I'm a big fan of Beast, and he just looked cool. Right.
Right. So I'm thinking, as far as story, as far as the slower paced, I'm gonna give it like a 4.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And I thought the art was good, right? Nothing to write home about.
Okay.
It was a solid, and I think it matched the story, so I'm giving it a 4, and that's where I'm going to be about total with the book is a 4.
That's good. Yeah, so. Yeah. This one I would definitely recommend to anyone who wants to just get back into X-Men. This is the perfect time to hop into it. Number 2 just comes out this week, but I'm sure you can find a second printing of the first one.
Right. And one thing that's really cool about this book is it was... the way it was captioned with each character, they actually introduced the character, what their superpower is, what their real name is, what their alias name is. So it is very well written to a new reader, to X-Men, or somebody that's been away and coming back.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very accessible. So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, I want to thank you guys for joining us today. If you like this, hit like. If you want to subscribe, please hit subscribe. We'd appreciate that very much. Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, if you have any like ideas of books that you would want us to check out, stuff that you think we'd enjoy and you want us to do a review on, you can just put that in the comments below here, and we'll read that. Yeah, and you can also send that to us on Twitter. You can get us at Hoodoo TV. So yeah.
Follow us, like us. Appreciate everything, guys. It's Hoodoo TV. We'll see you soon.
Yeah.